Y'all know how I feel about false allegations against innocent men. But I think nowadays on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, or whichever the case may be, but I think when it comes to a certain streamer on TikTok who lost his life over a lie because he's been accused of SA and raping somebody. At some point, we gotta draw the line of putting innocent people in jail and not putting the real problems, the real accusers in jail for lying under oath and lying about a man dating or doing this and that to them. That's how most men out here unalive themselves every year because of stuff like this. And the world doesn't even care about what a man go through. This is the problem that we're talking about. And it's never been talked about all over social media, all over the radio stations, all over the news. And yet, they want to focus on the women's issues. Heck, I've seen one reaction video of British news where a feminist is on TV try to get him to stay focused on the women's side, but as soon as he brings up a men's issues, she says that she cares, but she doesn't. And yet she goes directly back to her women's issues. I'm sitting there thinking to myself, what type of, yeah. The world we're living in right now, it's not just in the UK, it's everywhere. Women empowerment, right? My ass. So we're going to go ahead and get to this video right now.
Who went by the name of Inquisitor sadly took his own life after false allegations about him were spread by other influencers who wanted to ruin his image, all in the pursuit of fame. After the allegations went viral and Inquisitor started receiving threats, he unfortunately felt the only way out was to end it all, and sadly he did it while live on TikTok for all to see. I obviously won't be showing any footage of that, but do keep in mind that the subject of this video will focus on what happened, and some people may want to avoid this darker video. Inquisitor was a 23-year-old Italian cosplayer who dressed up like a character from the Call of Duty franchise and blew up on TikTok when he started posing as this character, as well as playing songs with his guitar live on TikTok. Things were going great for Inquisitor, and he eventually got to the point where he felt he needed help to continue to grow his brand. Eventually, a girl who saw his work, who went by the name AJ, reached out to Inquisitor and offered to edit a few of his videos, which he agreed to, and delivered several well-edited videos that Inquisitor was thrilled with. In Discord, it showed Inquisitor responding after the edits were complete, saying things like, "I love you," "marry you," and calls AJ honey on a few occasions as well. At this point, it's not really clear if he was just being friendly or if this was an attempt at flirting, but it didn't go beyond that, and there was no overtly sexual text that were leaked, but he did say those things. Eventually, it was revealed that AJ was only 17 years old, while Inquisitor, who was 23 at the time, allegedly had no idea of her being underage. AJ apparently wasn't a fan of the way Inquisitor talked to her, but instead of cutting off communication with Inquisitor or asking him to stop, she decided to keep working with him and say nothing. A few months later, Inquisitor and AJ stopped working together, and at that point, AJ decided to show the text messages from Inquisitor to her boyfriend Tito, who was also a TikTok influencer who went by the name of Tito is Acting Badly. Tito and AJ then allegedly concocted a plan to publicly expose Inquisitor as a pedo, according to leaked text messages between the two. The texts they had between Inquisitor and AJ weren't enough, so Tito told AJ to start talking with Inquisitor again and to flirt with him to try and convince him to text.
So let me get something straight. That bimbo, her boyfriend encouraged her to continue to flirt with him and see if he could say some inappropriate things. Why? It's funny because it's not just women that are doing this. It's a lot of men. At some point, you gotta realize that if you're talking to a grown man, you got no business being on TikTok, bruh. This woman knew exactly what she was doing. Don't sit there and tell me that he was in the wrong for saying these things, and yet she was the one that initiated it. Sorry, but this whole crap about believe women, all of that is starting to die down. This is the problem. And look what happened.
Told AJ that he wanted her to keep flirting with Inquisitor, see where it goes. If he starts to get sexual, then I will expose him. We just need better and more proof. AJ proceeds with the plan and starts telling Inquisitor how much she loves him and asks him to date her, which he rejects, but AJ continues anyway and asks if they can get to know each other, which is denied as well. And then she goes so far as to lie to Inquisitor and tells him she's not a minor, so everything is okay if things go farther.
Wow. Bruh, I'm telling you. Now it all makes sense. Remember when I said that her boyfriend encouraged her to continue to flirt with this guy? Now all of a sudden she tried to say that she's not a minor. No, you're clearly a minor. You lied. I'm about to go into full rant right now because I hate when people do this. You lied about your age just so you could work with this guy and flirt with him. Till somebody revealed your real age, all of a sudden you act like, oh, I'm not 18. No. Either you tell the truth or we're throwing you in jail. I'm just sick to death about this because what you just did, you caused this. You caused this man to unalive himself. Why aren't you in jail?
Now, it's important to note that on Inquisitor's TikTok page, he made it very clear he didn't want to associate with underage fans, as his profile states MDNI, which stands for Minors Do Not Interact. It was clear at this point that AJ and Tito's entrapment plan wasn't going to work, so they decided to use what they had and attempted to spin the story anyway. AJ allegedly sends the old text messages from Inquisitor saying I love you and marry me to a TikToker by the name of Keegan's Mask, but she didn't send any of the later texts showing Inquisitor turning her down and not wanting to make it sexual. Keegan's Mask, not having the full story, decides this would make a great exposing video and releases a TikTok that claimed Inquisitor as a pedo since he was 23 and AJ was 17. Allegations like that obviously went viral, and Inquisitor, despite not doing anything inappropriate with AJ, and despite the fact she lied to him and told him she was an adult, began receiving massive backlash. He eventually deleted his Instagram account after receiving hundreds of hateful messages, but the harassment didn't stop there, and eventually it became too much for Inquisitor to bear, as he felt he would never recover from these allegations. Inquisitor sadly went live on TikTok and ended his life by hanging himself. Now, I won't be showing any footage from that live stream, but it's unclear how much was shown, as that video has now been scrubbed from TikTok. A re-upload that I saw seemed to imply that he did the act off camera and wasn't actually shown in the live stream, but what is shown is one of his friends breaks the window to his room and tries to perform CPR to save his friend's life. After this happened, many people initially believed it was fake, as you can never be too sure what...
First of all, ain't nothing fake about suicide. False allegations is one thing, but if you wanted to lie against someone who did this and that to you, then you deserve all the punishment that's coming to you. What that person did was not only force the man to kill himself, but you made it seem like he's a pedo. And yet you caused it. And I'm really pissed about this because I hate seeing men unaliving themselves every year because of stuff like this. Why does this mess keep going on? This man was 23 years old and he lost his life over a lie. And it's all because people want to get clout. They want to get famous by exposing another social media influencer over something they didn't do. And yet they lied about their age. Stop playing with me, bro.
But sadly, Inquisitor's father announced his son had passed away, and this was confirmed by news agencies as well. Once it was all confirmed to be true, the backlash against Tito, AJ, and Keegan's Mask began to grow, which is when the text messages showing Inquisitor rejecting AJ leaked and proving nothing sexual had ever happened between them.
Exactly.
Realizing their attempt to frame Inquisitor as a predator had led to his passing, all three individuals began issuing apologies, asking people to forgive them and stop harassing them.
All I'm saying right here is that I want more proof to convince myself that he is a... That's
This
all I
nigga,
wanted,
yo.
was more proof that he is what we actually think he is.
He's not a pedophile. Y'all did this. Y'all made a man kill himself because you claim that he's a you know what. Because you claim that he was flirting with her. And yet she lied about her age to get him thinking that he... You know what? At some point, I think I'm beginning to hate people right now. Y'all are like out of control. This is nuts.
Tell her to lie.
You did.
I did not tell her to crop screenshots.
You did.
I did not tell her to edit things.
You did. Stop lying.
I
Stop
am being
it.
completely honest with you.
Stop the cat.
So basically the reason she went back to talk to him was because I needed more proof.
You did basically tell her to do all of that. So now you're lying about something. And this is the one thing that pisses me off. When liars get caught, they want to switch their stories around and try to make us think that they didn't do those things. And yet you did. You got your girl to do all of that. All because you want more proof. So therefore, you did tell her to do all of that.
I am a man of God. I don't like ruining people's lives. I never wanted to ruin anybody's lives. And I wanted none of this to happen.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Bruh.
Stop the cap.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up!
Cut the bullshit, dude. Just cut it. You cannot call yourself a Christian while you allow your girl to do all of that on TikTok. Screenshots, flirting with this man, all because you want a proof. And now you're lying about stuff. And guess what? I'm a Christian too. But the one thing I will never do is lie on their oath and lie on somebody that did this and that to me. All it takes is accountability. Unlike you and your girl. So y'all deserve to get all the backlash and the threats. It's really embarrassing, bruh. You ought to be ashamed of yourselves, for real, for real.
TikTok eventually took notice and ended up banning everyone involved in the whole plot that led to Inquisitor's passing. As of now, we don't really know where this will go from here. With multiple people involved in different countries, any criminal charges that may be filed could take a while before anything happens, and if by some chance these people aren't criminally charged, at the very least Inquisitor's family should file civil suits against these people,
Yeah,
in
they
my
need
opinion.
to.
I really am amazed at what a callous online world we live in, where people are willing to ruin someone's life with false allegations just for some internet fame. But as I've now covered a few stories like this, it's clear this type of behavior is only getting worse.
I bet. This has to be one of the cappest stories I've ever heard in my life. When the man said that he's a child of God, and yet you're doing devilish things by having your girl screen capture the text messages, making people think that he actually did try to flirt and do all the sexual exploitive stuff to a minor, and yet she lied about her age. All because you wanted proof that he really is trying to do some sexual stuff to her. What is the point of all of this, honestly? All you're doing is ruining your own legacy. Oh, that's right, you don't have a legacy. Your legacy is destroying people's lives. For what? Clicks, clout, likes, views? Which one? Sometimes in life, when you get people trying to destroy your reputation, you better sue the mess out of those people. And like he said in the video, sue the mess out of those people that destroyed your son's life. Sue them with every ounce of penny they got in their pockets. They're going to suffer big time. Because people like this don't deserve to breathe on this planet. There's one thing I cannot stand in this world. False allegations, ruining a man's life, ruining a man's career, spreading misinformation about him, and liars. All of them are the 5 things I hate about this. You know what? I don't even want to say nothing anymore. I'm angry. I'm upset that a man had to unalive himself on TikTok by suicide. I hope these people get what's coming to them. If there's an update, I'm going to do a reaction and a story talking about it. So my condolences go out to him and his family. Shameful.